So we're a little, it's not quite time yet. Hey, I wanted to tell you there's 31 classrooms already. So I actually got really excited. We had so many people signed up that I was like, percentage wise, if we keep getting signups, I don't know how we'll get to all their questions. So I'm pretty excited to do this today. And we said 30 minutes, right?
Sure.
I gotta go back and check classrooms because they're not gonna have more time. So I'm glad they're all here. Maybe, I don't know, this is a new one for me. Should we start since they're already here?
Yeah.
Well, we've got 3 minutes to go before that.
Share your jetpack in this 3 minutes.
Well, it's not a robot doll, but this is part of my Halloween costume.
Nice.
And these are jetpack handles that come down.
Nice.
And then the inside of it.
Oh my gosh.
I actually have my little NASA sticker there, but that was part of a costume I made that made it look like I was flying a jetpack.
And you crashed, right?
I did crash.
I
didn't end up in the hospital though, so that was nice.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
No hospitals.
So, Colleen, I do have a question. Did the questions from the students already come in, or are they coming in on chat?
So that's what we need to talk about. How we're going to do this thing that we're trying to do. So first, we need to say hello to all the kids that are out there that we can't see, and we wish we could see you guys. But like I told Andy a second ago, probably for privacy, it's better if we can do it this way. We can record it. We can turn your mic on. You can talk, and we'll be able to hear you. So for when I ran these types of things in my library, what I would do is have the kids write questions beforehand. So I asked teachers to do that, and some teachers mailed them ahead of time, and I thought that was really awesome. Hopefully you have children on your side, seated on their pockets, and ready to ask Shanda questions and ready to ask us questions. And all they'll do is come up to their computer on your side over there, and you can raise your hand. So let's all practice. Let me find it again. You have to practice raising your hand, and then I'll have to be able to lower your hand. Do you guys see it? All the teachers need to see. You see the lower all? I see lower all hands now. Okay, I'm seeing hands raised. Okay, so when I see a hand raised, let's say I see Larry's hand raised. I'll say, I'm going to allow Larry's classroom to talk. Prepare your question, and I'll click it. And then, Larry, you want to say hello? I unmuted you, so. He wasn't ready. I'm gonna mute you. Wait. Yeah. So I don't know how it's gonna go. We'll try it. Okay. He muted himself back, I think, actually. How do I take him back off now? Sorry, Larry. All right, so I'm gonna lower all the hands, and I'm gonna do some introductions, and I'd like us to kind of get going. So we have Shanda here. She wrote Dolly 1.0. And do you have your new book with you?
I do.
Oh, she's like,
I'm gonna dip under my desk here.
Yeah, dip under your desk. I do that all the time.
Oh, so there's her dog in the background.
Yeah, T-Bone the Drone, sweet. So that's another inventor book. So I read this book last summer. I guess it came out last summer, right?
Last May.
2018.
2018 May. Yeah.
I found out about it in the summer. And I just love this little girl. I even dyed my hair blue last fall, and I feel like it's probably her fault. And this kind of makes me want to do it again. And I just love this book. I'd already made an invention with a doll that can talk. This is my panda that can talk. I'll share him a little later. You plug him up to Makey and Scratch. So here's my Scratch program over here. And I thought, well, how cool would it be to make a whole guide based on this for students to use Makey and Dolly 1.0. So I wrote the guide that Andy's classrooms, they're in there making dollies right now. So that's really cool.
Fun.
And then Tom is also a part of our Makey Makey team, and he helps with education and training teachers. And he is also an avid maker, so he's sharing his jetpack with us today. And we're gonna be here to answer questions. But I see that you've all saying, oh, you know what? Make sure that you guys have all panelists turned on when you're chatting in the chat window, because I noticed that all panelists and attendees. I did that last time too. So make sure you say hello and where you're from. I'm seeing lots of people. We have people from New Jersey, and like Andy's, they're making stuff and watching us kind of on the fly. So,
Cool.
So Shanda, do you want to tell us about a little bit about your inspiration? And I think you were going to read it, right? We were going to have you read it.
Yeah, if we have time for that.
I really want to.
Okay. Well, so I have 2 daughters, and my little girls were really into robots. One time we were just playing on the floor with some dolls, and they said, "Mommy, my doll's a robot." And I said, "Hold on, let me go write that down." And then I went back, and I went to the library the next day to see if there was anything out there where somebody turned a doll into a robot at the library, like if someone had already written a book like that. And I couldn't find anything. And not only could I found a lot of robot books, but there weren't a lot with like some feminine qualities. They were very, very masculine books, very masculine colors, very masculine artwork. So anyway, a doll, there's pink, there's polka dots, there's dresses, there's beads. Anyway, there's a little more femininity in here for little girls like mine to find. So, do you want me to read now? Okay. So, Dolly 1.0, here we go. Now, look for bananas. We don't do Apple computers here.
Yeah.
All right.
And look for this.
Yes. And the makey. I think I see one. First spread. So Charlotte's head was always in the cloud, tinkering, toggling, coding, downloading. There's a banana. She was Mama's little genius. And Mama said, "I think I broke it." And Charlotte says, "Easy fix, Mom. Just press this, this, and this." And Daddy's little smarty pants. And he can't work the TV here. And he says, "How do you work this goofy thing?" She says, "Easy, Dad. Just press that, that, and that." I bet some of you guys are way smarter than your parents when it comes to tech. So Charlotte's world was fully charged. And you can see here on the TV, it says, it's a news report, and it says, "Are your kids too techie?" So Mom and Dad are a little concerned. So one day, Mama had a present for Charlotte. "Is it a dog bark decoder device so I can know what Bluetooth is saying?" And Bluetooth is the puppy here. She says, "Nope, even better." Surprise! She says, "How do you use it? Are there instructions? I was thinking you could play house or doctor or family with it." And at least Charlotte's polite, I guess. She says, "No, thank you." And Mom says, "Just give it a try, Charlotte. I'm sure you'll figure something out." So Charlotte dragged the human-shaped pillow to her room. She tried sharing her spare parts collection, and she says to the doll, "Don't you want to build something?" And we see a makey there with the classic iconic banana piano. But we can do way more than banana pianos now, you know. But it's very iconic. She tried playing superhero space princesses, and she says to the doll, "Help! The moon dragon is destroying our ship." So the moon dragon is Bluetooth up here, kind of playing. She even tried a dance party. So she's doing her robot moves. Doot, doot. But the doll just stared. So what do you want to play then? And the doll says, Mama. She says, oh, me? I'm not your mama. And then the doll says, Mama. She says, how can I be your mama? I'm just a kid. Then Charlotte thought of something. If the doll could talk, then it must have a power supply. I coughed at the same time. Let me try that again. Power supply. Now things are getting interesting for Charlotte. And she says, got any other words in your database, Dolly? And the doll says, Mama, Mama, Mama. Just one word, huh?
Oh, do you see the USB cable too going to the top to the light bulb? Look at that. Cool illustration.
Thanks. And then when you see a light bulb over someone's head, usually that means they have an idea. And she says, I know. I can run an update on you. You could say more words. Would you like that? And guess what the doll said? Mama. And she says, I'll take that as a yes.
Hey, look at Bluetooth.
Yeah. You guys have noticed, but Bluetooth has not looked too happy from a couple pages back.
That doesn't bode well with Bluetooth. He's looking a little angry.
Now he looks really mad or something. And she's got Dolly all hooked up here. And I guess Bluetooth, have you guys ever maybe two of your friends were playing together and you were kind of left out? That's normal to feel left out. So he's probably just feeling left out, but we hope he doesn't, act out on those feelings. Anyway, she says, this update's gonna be awesome, Dolly. You'll be saying hello and goodbye and let's play and happy birthday and yes and here's a banana. No! We have banana peeling. Yes, Bluetooth did act out on those bad feelings.
Uh-oh.
Bad boy, Bluetooth. So Charlotte couldn't let it end this way. She knew what she had to do. So she got her goggles, her gloves, her box of parts, slam. And then we have a page here with no words at all. You just look at it. And we see it's kind of like a mad scientist feel, hopefully. We don't exactly know what Charlotte's working on, but we see a plan on the wall. We see tools. We see her shadow that's super crazy there on the floor, lightning in the window. Sorry, I keep coughing. And Bluetooth is banned for good reason. Oh no. And the doll pops up and says, hello, my name is Dolly 1.0. I always get the kids at my school visit to do the robot voice. Oh, I have this thing.
Oh, the kids can do it.
Hello, my name is Dolly 1.0. That's terrible.
That's really cool. That sounded cool.
Thanks. Okay.
Kids like it, I'm sure that
they do if they can understand it. Yeah.
If only we could hear them laughing.
Right.
Yeah.
So with a few spare parts and a bit of code, Charlotte changed the doll into a robot, obviously, with two bright eyes and a cute little battery pack. Did you guys know that batteries could be cute? Sure they can. Yeah. The doll changed Charlotte too. And we know this because she says, Dolly, want to take Bluetooth for a walk with Mama. So maybe she can play Mama now and be okay with that. Let's just pretend. So everybody changed, but not too much, because Charlotte, she's still playing with her gadgets, and Dolly is still saying, but the mom and dad now, they're happy. And maybe because Charlotte's outside, she's playing with the doll they gave her. Bluetooth's getting some exercise here. And, if my little girl made a robot out of a doll I gave her, I think I'd be pretty impressed. Wouldn't you guys?
Yeah.
So I think it worked out. We're all friends.
And she's playing with Bluetooth now. She's not leaving him out.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so that was great. Boys and girls, make sure you give her a clap, even though she can't hear it. I know on your side you can hear it. So I think we should entertain some questions from our children and teenagers and whoever's over here on the other side from Canada and Kentucky and New York and Pennsylvania. There's 2 people from Pennsylvania. So if you would raise your hand. Well, Rebecca Gerds has her. Rebecca, I'm turning you on. You're the first hand I saw, and I'm going to allow you to talk and let you ask a question. So Rebecca, hello. You want to tell us where you're from just so we can see in the video too?
Hi.
Hi.
This is Rebecca Gerdes in Northwestern Elementary kindergartners. And Tom, yesterday we made a human chain, kindness chain with 400 plus kindergartners and made Rebecca play a song. And it was
that's amazing. 400. Did you make a video?
We did, and we're going to send it to you. Yes. We have a little boy, Creed, who wants to ask Shanda a question.
Okay. Hi, Creed.
Have you ever made a robot before?
Have you made a robot?
I have made a few little kits, which you guys have probably already done too. But I've made a few little kits, but other than that, I haven't made a dolly actually or anything like that. So I'm still learning, and hopefully I will make a cooler robot one day.
Tell her that we're making dollies in our class. Tell her.
You are.
Yes. We're
awesome.
Yay.
We're excited.
With 2 conductive spots.
With 2 conductive spots. We tested the conductivity of all kinds of things. So.
Oh, how fun. I was trying to get my panda to show Creed. This is not like a big robot, but it's kind of like the initial inspiration for y'all for this project with you. This is the one I made. The one in the guide are the ones my children made, but this is a button, and these are my 2 conductive spots, and inside when you push the tummy, he talks, but it's too hard to get it all the way together. I should have had him all the way together. All right, thanks, Rebecca, and thanks, Creed, for your question.
Thank
you.
you.
Guys do you want to have another question from your side, and then we'll let Larry go?
Okay. Did we have another question?
No. Okay.
Oh, we did.
Thanks.
Okay.
Bye. Bye. All right, Larry, we're turning you on. Oh, I don't know if I might have made this more complicated, but go ahead, Larry. I'm going to get Rebecca gone. Larry, you might also be muted from your side. There you go. You should be able to hear you now.
Okay, so we're going to hear from one of my students.
Okay.
My name is Holly.
Hi,
I am
Holly.
in 3rd grade at New Century School in Verona, Wisconsin. My question is for the
You can just
author and
Here's, you know how to remember my
question
name? That panda that Colleen had back there? My name is Shanda, and it rhymes with panda. Shanda Panda. So you can call me Shanda Panda if you want to.
My question is for the author, and it is, why do you name the dog Bluetooth?
Oh, that's a really good question. And you know, because of the real Bluetooth technology, I actually had to change the spelling of the name Bluetooth. But there were two names that I were kind of going back and forth with. And the other name that I thought about was using the name Megabyte. So what do you like best, Bluetooth or Megabyte?
I think Bluetooth.
You like Bluetooth? Okay, me too, because that's what I picked. So I like the part in the book where it says bad boy Bluetooth and 3 B's. Bad boy Bluetooth. So that's what made me finally go with Bluetooth. So anyway, thanks for your question. That was a good question.
Thanks. Do you have another question on your side, Larry?
Sure. Let's have a question from David. Pop up, David. Hustle.
Hi, David.
Hey, David.
Hello. My name is David, and I am in 2nd grade at New Century School in Verona, Wisconsin. My question is for the Makey experts. How did you become Makey experts?
Tom, how'd you become a Makey expert?
Wow, that's a good question. You know, it started, I think, with being curious about things. And I saw a video on the internet about the Makey. And when I saw this video, I knew I just had to have one. So I went and bought one. And when it showed up at my house, I just started experimenting, probably the same things that you're doing, is experimenting and then asking the question, what if I attach this, and what if I did this? And some things worked and some things didn't work, but always just being curious and wondering what would happen if I tried something new. And the next thing I know, I guess I wonder if I'm an expert, but I will say that I love learning about how things work. And that's how I got here.
And I have a similar path. I saw a video. I thought it looked really cool. I got obsessed with it. I'm already obsessed with making things, but I learned about Makey, and I learned how a circuit works. And then I got into paper circuits, and then I got into sewing circuits, and I like made this whole little strawberry, and I sewed these. Do you see the stickers lighting up? It's kind of hard to see. Can you see them, like their cheeks lighting up on my strawberry? Right, so I learned from Makey how to even do things like that. So you can learn just from that one technology. You can take it and apply it to other technologies and learn even more. So, and like Tom said, we aren't really experts. We're just people who are really curious about how stuff works and how the world works. And we just go, hey, that looks cool. How can I do that? It's a pretty good way to be. If you think of the world as a place that you can change, then it becomes a different place, right? It's no longer this box that's static. Now you can start doing your own thing. So it's pretty cool. Thanks for your question.
It's just like Charlotte in the book.
Yeah, Charlotte said, Charlotte got upset when Dolly got torn up, right? But then she was like, I have a better idea. I want to do this. So, you know, something breaks. Maybe you can find a way to put it together with a new thing.
Yep.
Thanks.
In class right now, we're building like something like it's a project with Makey.
Very
and
cool.
it's for like we're trying to help blind people we're trying to add details to books with the Makey. So like once you touch a brad, it'll like say something.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's really cool. That means that Larry, you're Mr. Gundlach, I should be calling you all your last names, I just remembered, was on our Build a Better Book webinar too, where we talked about making books more accessible for others. That's really, really great of you to do that. Thank you. Thanks. We're gonna let Amanda, we're gonna turn Amanda on. Thanks, Mr. Gundlach. Thanks, classroom.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right, Amanda, I accidentally turned on Kristin. I'm sorry. Kristin, were you ready? She's like, what? No, she's not ready. She might be gone. Some people had to go. I'm going to turn you back off then. I'm going to Amanda. You know what? I also noticed now I have Amanda and Kristin on. Anybody who wants.
Okay.
Oh, I hear you.
Are you? Go ahead, Amanda.
Thank you. Hi, so Amanda Burns from Yorktown, and I have two awesome 5th grade classes with me, Mrs. Floor and Mrs. Barber. And our students, and they're going to be doing a great Makey project with our 1st grade students, all about creating dolls for empathy.
Nice.
Awesome.
So I have a student here with me, and you have a question? Okay, go ahead, read it out loud. Tell your name.
So my name is Cameron, and I have a question for the author. So when you were a child, were you as creative as Charlotte in the book? Or?
I think I was pretty creative, actually. I I didn't have any makeys or much like that, but I would like cut paper and do a lot of, let's see, I'm trying to think of the crazy things I did. I made myself shopping bag earrings one time. So creative, yes, but maybe not. I didn't really like put in electronic stuff until I was older, because that's pretty fun. And you have to be safe too. So, but yes, I was very creative as a kid. Are you?
Are you creative?
Yeah, I mean, I think I am, because I mean,
Yeah.
You know,
I'm
I do
sure
some
you are.
projects at home with my sister, and you know, that's kind of, we just do that together sometimes, and that's I think that's creative.
Yeah.
I think that you're all creative. All of you are creative. You all have the possibility of creativity deep down inside you. You just got to unlock it. But you definitely, you sound like you're making stuff with your sister. That's really cool too, because you're
That's
doing
very
it
cool.
with your family.
And we have one more question.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Ava, and my question is for Shanda. We read that your daughters inspired you. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes. So I have 2 daughters right now. One is in 4th grade and one is in kindergarten. And I just want them to live in a world where they, you know, can feel completely comfortable messing with robots if they want to, or circuits or makeys or whatever they want to do. I just want it to be completely comfortable for them. And because girls and boys, we can do this anything, right? It doesn't matter at all. But society, just I guess society is the word I would use, sometimes have formed and made sometimes girls feel like they need to just go into certain fields, like, you know, I don't know, or just because we do have children, that we need to, you know, stay home and we need to clean the house. And that's the stuff that I was facing when I became a wife and a mother. And I love those things. Those things are wonderful. But I really wanted to, I had a little more in me, and I wanted to make books, and I wanted to create art. And, you know, I'm so glad that the world I live in, it was totally cool and accepted and okay for me to pursue that. And I just wanted to stay that way for my kids. And yeah, I don't know, that kind of got crazy answer, but I hope that answers.
That's a good question, Ava. That was a good question. And
Very
I think that's why I like doing these things too, what we're doing right now, because I'm also of the camp of like, girls can do what they want, and they can be inventors and they can be engineers, because I never really thought I could do those things when I was little. And I was really into coding when I was little, and I didn't grow up to be an engineer. But I do have the coolest job ever now. I work for Makey and I make really cool stuff. So I still was able to find that path, even though it wasn't like carved out for me. And if boys and girls, you couldn't tell, and I'm sorry, 5th graders, I'm calling you boys and girls, but I have taught in the classroom a really long time. I've been a teacher, so it's a great job, and you should thank your teacher for being awesome. I'm gonna go ahead and put that one out there. So thanks, Amanda.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm gonna turn Kristin on because I told her that I was turning her on, and then I didn't turn her on, and this is kind of a weird thing to do. So, hey, Kristin.
Oh.
Are you back? Oh, I did it again. Kristin, what if I make you a panelist?
How about
Okay.
that? Can you hear us now?
Yes.
I can.
Awesome. Okay, I have a student who's going to come up and ask a question.
Oh, student, before you tell us your name, will you tell us where you're from? 'Cause, sorry, we messed with Miss Smith's audio too much.
Well, Bethlehem, PA.
Cool. Pennsylvania?
Yes, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Very cool. What's your question?
Who helps you edit and revise your writing?
For me?
Yeah. So for Shanda.
Oh, so many people. I have a group of friends called my critique group that I meet with once a month, and I share my writing with them. So they're the first people to help me edit my writing. And then when I feel like I've got it good enough, I might let my, like a professional, like either my agent, or before I had an agent, I might go to an English teacher or an author that already had some books out. That's what I did before I had an agent. And then again, when somebody finally wanted to buy Dolly 1.0, there was an editor, like an actual editor, and it went through some changes again. So she helped me edit it one final round. So that question is like, there's so many people that help me along the way to edit my book. And if you take anything away from that, just know that writing is like 75% revising. So
that's a good one. And in the chat, Miss Volak also added she loves to learn how long it takes. And I know from Chris Barton that the time frame for a picture book is much different than I would expect. So from the point that you wrote it to the point that it was published, how long did that take?
Well, for Dolly 1.0, because this is my first book, I'm kind of new at this, and I didn't know what I was doing yet. So it took me 6 years from the moment I know it can be sort of sad a sad number, right? But it was good, and I'm really proud of this book. Now this one, on the other hand, took me like 6 months, not 6 years. And I do love this book, but do you know which one I'm prouder of?
The first
I'm prouder of the one that I worked really, 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 really hard on, and I got it just the way I wanted it, and I didn't run out of time. This one had a dooming deadline that I had to, and and while I still love it, I know I could have made it better if I had more time. So
yeah,
there's that.
How do you have a stack of rejection letters?
I do. They're in my email. Like, I don't print them out. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, Dolly 1.0 got rejected by a few agents, because I wanted to have an agent first to help me navigate the process of publishing, because it's pretty complicated. And then, but nobody rejected it in its final form. Like,
good.
I got rejections, and then I made changes based on those rejections, and then sent out to more people, and then a bunch of people wanted it. So
that's
so
awesome.
That was fun.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Miss Smith, do you have another student that wants to ask a question?
I sure do.
Awesome.
I'm Michael Edwards, and this one's for the Makey experts. What is the weirdest thing you've turned to a key?
I don't want to answer that question.
Oh
no! Like the first thing that pops up in my mind is so weird. So I'm trying to think of like
I've got
a better
one.
thing. You've got one. Good.
Yeah.
Whew.
So the weirdest thing, which is pretty amazing to me when I first tried this, was a potted plant.
Oh yeah.
So if you take a lead alligator clip from the Makey and put it in the soil of a potted plant and then touch the leaf of the plant, you can complete the circuit. And now it has to be the right kind of plant, and there has to be enough moisture in the pot. But because of the roots, because of the soil, and because there's, the plant is just one big circuit, really. So that to me is probably strange, and then also pretty amazing.
That's pretty cool. I can think of like a really weird thing that's conductive that you probably don't know is conductive, and that's the writing on an Amazon box and also the tape on an Amazon box. So last year I made a cardboard guitar, and my earth, if you go look at the guitar project, either on our how-to page or Instructables, I'm strumming the tape as my earth, and then I have quarters and such as my, and I don't have the guitar anymore. So I think that's another fun, that was really cool because the tape was conductive and I was using change, but that's sort of the nature of projects like this, is that you make them and you make a video of them, you document them in some way, and then you don't see them again for a while. Like, I guess I tore that guitar up even though it took all that time and recycled it. But that Amazon box had a second life for a little bit, and that was pretty cool. Thanks. That was a good question. Even though I got embarrassed, I'll have to tell your teachers over email my weird thing, I suppose. That's super weird.
Oh, no.
All right. Amanda already went, so I'm going to turn on Katy. And I actually, Katy moved down. That was weird. Katy Masak, Miss Masak. And, it doesn't look like it wants to let me allow you to. Oh, there it goes. Sorry. This is very awkward on my end. Hi. Where are you guys from?
Appleton, Wisconsin.
Hey.
Wisconsin. Cool.
And we have a little snow outside. We're not quite ready for that yet, but it's still exciting. And I imagine that might be conductive. Haven't tried that yet.
Yeah. Do you know what? Y'all in Wisconsin, here in Texas, Austin, Texas, it is 70 degrees outside and sunny.
So
it's about to be 74.
It's in the 30s, and that's warmer than last week, so we're pretty excited.
Yeah.
So we have a few questions for you here.
How did you come up with the name Dolly?
Well, that's a great question. My husband actually came up with it, and I was like, yes, that is it. But like the robot Wall-E, so he spells his name W-A-L-L-E, Wall-E, and then we were like, Dolly, like, you call it a dolly, so that worked. Doll-E, just let you know it was robotic or electric or something. And then in hopes that maybe one day there might be more, we did the 1.0, which also just gives you more clue as that it's going to be robotic or techie. So yeah. And the E stands for electric, obviously. So you've heard of email, electric mail, and an e-book, electric book. So when you look at the cover of Dolly, hopefully, it's going to be about a doll that's electric.
And I thought 1.0 was because she made a 1.0 version, there'd be a second version, third version. But just because you just said it, and Ms. Bolek also asked if you're going to have a Dolly 2.0 book.
Well, there there's nothing in the works right now, but maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
We'll see how things pan out.
Yeah. This is a great book. We'd love to see Charlotte again. Miss Masak, do you have another student with a question?
Yes.
Oh, we can't hear you, sweetheart.
What did you enjoy the most?
We can't hear you. Oh, we can't hear them at all. Oh. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want to type your question? We can't hear it. We can't hear you at all anymore, Miss Masak. I don't know what happened. Oh, the wonders of the internet.
Technology.
It allows us to be here. Oh, wait.
Hello?
Oh,
hey.
Bad.
There we go. She's wondering what you enjoy most about making your book.
We still didn't hear.
Oh.
Try one more time and then type it.
Okay, we are typing it also.
Okay.
Get it? Can you hear us or not?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, what did you enjoy most about making your book, she was wondering?
Oh, that's good.
Well, I love making characters. So I loved making, the doll has always looked like this from the very beginning of my sketches when I was sketching out. This kind of looks like my daughter's, we call her Pinky. It's like a little lovey toy that she's held on to since she was a baby. And so Dolly's modeled after that. But Charlotte, she went through a lot of changes. She was blonde at one time because my daughter's blonde, believe it or not. And I was trying to kind of make it look like her a little bit. And then it was so cool when I accidentally put this blue on this black. It was like, oh yeah, that's so awesome. It's kind of like the Wonder Woman hair. So I had a lot of fun, and Bluetooth looks a lot like my doggy. I just really, really enjoy characters. And now, after the book came out, I am just so excited and blown away how teachers and educators like Colleen took this and just like made it even way more awesome to me, with now that there's like a lesson about how to make a doll robot and program it to talk. Like that just made this book just like come to life for me. So that is also just like a new thing. I didn't even expect any of that to happen. So fun just to see when you put art out there, it's no longer in your control for good or for bad. And when educators take something like this and run with it the way that your teachers have and Colleen, and oh man, that has just been super fun. So it's hard to say what my favorite part of making a book, but I guess the making of it was creating the characters and the story and just like making this little world myself. I don't know.
That's really cool. And I don't know why, something you said made me want to share with this student that in the project guide, the little notebook database, those were all the phrases written by my fourth grader. And I brought up that project because I think I shared Rusty's, the program that she had. And if you're on those scratch games, that's actually my kids' voices. I think I shared those, right? Teachers, did I put that in the guide? And so like this was made by my 4-year-old, the funny one with the clothespins, and that's all her jokes. And then Rusty, the other robot, was made by last year she was a 4th grader. And so all those really bad puns, or dad jokes, as I like to call them, dad jokes, not bad, but dad. Those
you know
are written
what's
by
worse than dad jokes? Mom jokes.
That's awesome. Hey, let's let Tara ask some questions, and then we probably need to go because we're going to do this again a little later today. It's really hard to talk and do the things at the same time. Thank you so much for your questions.
Great question.
Hey, Tara. Oh.
Oh, she's muted.
Wait, can you hear us now?
Siri.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, I love it.
This is a 5th grade class in Mendota Heights, Minnesota, and we have a few questions. We have Audrey coming up. Come on up, Audrey.
Go, Audrey.
Pick one of those off there.
Go, Audrey.
Oh, no, Audrey, coming over here and talking.
Did you always think like an engineer?
Did you guys hear us?
For me.
Yeah, did you? Yeah, that's for you because they emailed us the questions.
That's
I remember.
right. Well, I like to think so. But yeah, I mean, I think so. I didn't know I was, but all you have to do to think like an engineer is just think of all kinds of different ways that you could solve a problem. And so I hope so.
I have to say that question, when it came through, I went, no. And then I went, wait, how does an engineer think? Like, maybe that's what we need to ask you. How do you think an engineer thinks?
Yeah, good question.
Audrey, they're bugging you.
Maybe they could like comp, is that how you say it? Or like they, I forgot the word.
I don't think they think complicated. Complex?
Yeah, and then a growth mindset, sort of.
Oh, like having a growth mindset?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They have a growth mindset for sure. They have a curious mindset. I think what an engineer, I didn't realize it till I was an adult. I think an engineer just thinks, how does that work? How's this thing put together? And that's why you see a lot of the tinkering of taking things apart and playing. And that's why Tom and I try to encourage that for your teachers too, like tinkering to learn and discover versus just making stuff, but actually doing it with reason and kind of going, why is this like this? Or how can I fix this? It's really good. That's a really good question, Audrey.
So I didn't have to engineer an actual robot, but I had to engineer a book, and the story had to, and I told a story also that's not in the words. So just being an engineer doesn't necessarily have to be electronic, but I had to make a secret storyline. The whole storyline of Bluetooth getting mad is not written in the words at all. It's only in the pictures. So I had to engineer how that would unfold on all the pages without the words saying it. So you can engineer anything. I engineered a book.
We have one more question for you if we've got time for it.
Yeah, and then go ahead.
Okay.
Did you have a doll when you were a kid?
Yeah. I had a doll named Samantha. Yeah, totally.
I had a ton of stuffies. Not so much a doll, but stuffies like this. I had tons of them. Yeah. I did have Barbies, and I used to shave their heads and take mascara and give them mohawks and stuff.
That's hilarious.
I'm glad you think so. I don't think so. As an adult, my 5th grader has now done that with some real. I don't like Barbies now, but my family gave her really expensive ones, and she like ripped the heads off, and I was upset. So it all comes back, you guys. If you do that stuff, come back to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome. I'm gonna turn on Regina Nadbielny because I noticed her being really excited on Twitter like 15 times. So I think it would be a disservice. I'm sure there's a lot of people who would be a disservice not to have you talk. I wish we could have everyone talk, but we have so many people. So Miss Nad, how do you say your last name, Regina? I'm sorry.
It's her mic is muted. Oh,
yeah, she's got it.
Hi, Regina Nadbielny. Hi. Yes, thank you so much. We're so excited. Last Tuesday, so I see my students once a week. We have 4th graders today on Tuesdays.
Last Tuesday, as you saw on Twitter, they made their robo dolls, and some of them were able to hook them up to the Makey and write their scratch coding. The rest finished today, and we have a few students who have questions. So,
Okay.
yeah, Amy.
Did you draw the pictures in the book? If so, was it hard to draw the pictures?
I did draw the pictures in the book, and that's the easy part to me. Writing the words is the hard part. But yeah, I did draw the pictures, but yeah, you're right. It was hard to come up with the right characters, and they got to have the right motions, and but that just takes practice. But it's still, I do have a lot of fun. But compared to writing the words, drawing pictures is super easy.
Yeah.
For me, writing is tough.
Thank you. We have another question from Waldo.
What does the word creative mean to you guys?
What's the word creative mean? Who's taking it?
Go for it, Colleen.
Oh, making me answer it. To me, it's really like, I've never thought of myself as creative, but everyone else always tells me I'm creative. And so I think that what the word must mean is that, like, you just try all the things and you try out different materials and you think about putting things together in different ways, and you just always kind of like making stuff. It doesn't have to be amazing stuff. In fact, I wish I had not. I took kind of my desk and shoved it to the ground today, and I have a bunch of cardboard projects on the ground that I'd really like to show you because they don't look exciting. They're not beautiful, but that's part of being creative, is just making stuff all the time and like tinkering with things and playing to figure out how stuff goes together and how you can make things better. So that's my answer. I noticed there's only 2 hands up besides this. So Miss Shanda Panda, would you mind me turning on 2 more classrooms in case they're still here and they still want to talk? Because I know we're losing people, but I would feel really bad. Thank you for coming, Miss Nadbielny.
Thank you. The kids call me Miss N.
I was about to say Miss N. I was like, there's no way. Thank you so much. Bye. Oh, I turned them off mid-bye. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm in the crunch zone of trying to get everyone. Miss Sierra, if you want to go, and then we'll have Courtney's question, and then we'll say our goodbyes.
Hi, how are you? Hi. I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico at Bandelier Elementary, and I have a student right here.
Hi.
Say it louder.
Hi, my name is Thomas. How did Makey Makey become Makey Makey?
Ooh, that's
like,
a good question.
When did it first start?
So Makey Makey started in 2012, and Tom and I did not make it. We just work for the company. We're just what is the word?
Advocates.
Yeah, it wasn't the word I was looking for. I was like,
Oh.
I wanted to say we're like really enthusiastic, I think. But Tom, do you know the backstory about Makey Makey?
Well, there's the shorts version is Jay and Eric were students at MIT in Boston. And when they were students, they invented this thing, the Makey Makey. And what's fun, the part of the story that's funnest for me to know is that now all of your class and students all over the world really are using the Makey Makey in the classroom, but Jay and Eric didn't see it initially as a tool to be used in classrooms. And but that was so many years ago that it has evolved, and so has making in the classroom and coding in the classroom. So now the Makey Makey is used by elementary, middle school students, high school students. I even received an email from a PhD student in Italy who's using the Makey Makey in her work. So
this is one of the first ones. I've been collecting the original Makey Makeys. They were actually made by a company called Spark Fun before we became our own thing. And Eric was just really obsessed with keyboard sounds. And Jay was really obsessed with, or making things into keyboard buttons. And Jay was really obsessed with playing with everyday stuff and seeing the world as reformable. And then they made this crazy, we call it digital duct tape. So the funnest part to me is to mash up this cardboard stuff with Scratch. So I hope you are using Scratch over there on your side. Do y'all have another question before I let Courtney Bennett's class?
Yes, one more question.
My name is Karar, and this is a question to the author. Why did you want to become an author?
Well, I've always wanted to, I loved picture books. So a picture book, if you just read the words, it's not going to make complete sense. And if you only look at the pictures, it's not going to make complete sense. But when they put the pictures and the words together, they turn into this really cool piece of art. They kind of dance together. So I've always been fascinated with that art form. Even as a kid, I didn't really know what was cool about it. I couldn't say the words to talk about it, but I just knew I loved it. Even when I was, supposed to be buying, chapter books and all that, at the book fair, I bought picture books.
I still love picture books.
Well, yeah, because picture books, now it's a little more accepted, but they're for everybody, right? They're for, little kids, big kids, bigger kids, and adults. So, but I always, because I was an artist, always, I was the class artist. Everybody wanted me to draw something for them. I knew I would love one day to be a picture book illustrator. So I pursued it that way. And I wanted to draw a doll robot really bad, but in order for me to just be an illustrator, I would have had to have just waited for somebody to write a book about a doll robot for me to draw a doll robot. So I didn't want to wait for that because it may never happen. And I attempted to write it myself. And through a lot of hard work, it's hard to even call myself an author and a writer because it's so difficult for me to get it out. But when I finally made a story and put my pictures together, that's when somebody wanted to buy the book. So that's kind of how it came to be. So when I put them together, the magic happened.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Oh. Bye, guys. We have our one last teacher. Who has a hand up? Miss Bennett.
Hi, can you hear us?
Yes.
We can.
Hi, I'm Courtney Bennett coming from New Century School in Verona, Wisconsin. We are the other classroom. You talked to my teaching partner earlier, Larry Gundlach. And you've answered quite a few of our questions. We have just one question because I know time is short. So I'm going to let my student ask the question now.
My name is Nolan. I'm at New Century, Verona, Wisconsin. And my question is, what's your favorite thing it's for only the Makey experts. Well, the author can hear it, I bet, but yeah.
Cool.
So this is what it is. What is your favorite thing that you've done with Makey so far?
Ooh.
Well, I'll take a shot at that. One of the things that I'm most excited about is when the Makey is used not just for a banana piano, but there's this continuum where projects start from just the banana piano, and then like in this book, Dolly 1.0, there's a creation of a product that we can interact with, and then we keep going, and there's an invention, or there are students around the country and around the world now that are using the Makey to solve real world problems. For example, there was a student a high school student that I know that created an invention that helped an elementary school student with cerebral palsy be able to interact with a computer a little more easily. And that was a really cool invention.
Invest Buddy.
Yeah,
Remember
oh yeah,
Invest
a group of elementary school students in Los Angeles who invented this vest for one of their fellow students who had a difficulty communicating verbally. And I just find it remarkable that young students like yourself are inventing things that are actually out there helping real people who need the inventions.
Now my answer doesn't sound as good because Tom's was really empathetic and good about social things. But my guess and what I've been trying to do all this time in my position is get people beyond the banana piano. And one of my favorite projects that we debuted this summer was oh, I'm going to show you this too. It is on the ground. Was a fraction generator. All right. And so that's on Instructables. But another thing that I made that this is probably going to be really hard to see, but this is a slider and this is conductive thread. And so it's supposed to work that as you slide the washer across, it makes these different thread pieces go. And I was trying to make some kind of wearable that would do something cool in Scratch, like make your Scratch cat get big and small and big and small. And then this guy, one of our ambassadors in the UK, made a cardboard slider. So I made his cardboard slider yesterday. And this is it. And this project's on Instructables if you wanted to make one. And you slide this across to play all the different buttons here, to make all these different buttons. But what's really funny, oh, well, my Slinky's way down there, is it has Slinky down on the ground. And someone said, oh, are you making a Slinky make noise? And I was like, oh, that'd be really cool to put the Slinky on the slider. But the other thing I am going to do with this is I'm going to work on a Scratch project today where I'm showing the layers of the earth. And so as you slide across, you see the different layers of the earth. And then I'm probably going to make another project where you show the human body systems and I show bones and then muscles grow and all that. And probably just use stock images, but it's going to be really cool because I can program it in Scratch. So to me, just making stuff with cardboard is like, it's really, really fun. And my projects help you learn concepts that you don't really want to learn sometimes. So to me, that's my mission. Is that a good answer?
Thank you. That was a great answer.
All right. Do you guys have one more question? We probably need to go, but we can take one more question.
I already prefaced that we probably have time for one question because I knew your time.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks. Can you all say bye? It's fun to hear you all say bye.
Bye.
That was awesome. We really appreciate all the teachers who came and who are still here listening. And I appreciate you, Shanda, for giving us this time and making it an hour, even though we said it was only going to be 30 minutes.
Oh,
so thanks, everybody.
I kind of figured it would be an hour.
I'm going to do that. I do that every time. It's going to be 30 minutes. Oh, we got to go an hour. Well, I'm so glad we got to have every teacher who raised a hand answer a question. We are repeating this at 3 o'clock Central, 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific. If any of the same teachers come, I don't know, but we really do appreciate you all for your time. And it's so cool. It went great. It worked.
Yeah.
Yay. Thanks everybody for joining us today, and we'll see you again at 3 o'clock. Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you.